What's up guys, Jam here. Today we'll be covering chapter 24 of Arc 5. Before we get into things, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future chapter summaries and more ReZero content. Chapter 23 ended with a heavily injured Sirius confronting Emilia and attempting to burn her to a crisp. Chapter 24 picks up exactly from where we left off, with Sirius angry at Emilia's presence. Subaru was confused as the 3 times he's encountered Sirius, she was pretty calm. But after seeing Emilia, she lost her cool. Sirius turns to Emilia and begins laughing. I could keep burning and burning you, but it wouldn't be enough, like maggots, like flies. How much do you hate me? Even in my saddest days, am I not allowed the freedom of mourning? Emilia was confused about what Sirius was talking about. If you feel angry at me, I'll hear you out. However, this has nothing to do with the other people here. Please let them go. That's the wrong attitude. If you want to let everyone go, then do it right. Show me the right attitude. Apologize, repent, cry, and beg for forgiveness, then let me shoot flames into your ass and scorch your internal organs away. Having my organs burn will be troublesome, so let's settle this simply. Emilia charges towards Sirius and stabs her in the shoulder with her ice sword. Sirius curses Emilia as she puts flames onto her ice sword. Damn half-witch. Please don't say that anymore, it'll make people feel dirty. Even though the sword was engulfed in flames, it did not vaporize into the air. Sirius lit her chain in flames while Emilia created an ice hammer. They began exchanging blows again. Disgusting, half-witch, maggot, fly, insect, loathsome bug. Emilia begins overpowering Sirius. Subaru, realizing that, calls to her. This isn't the time to be in a trance. No, Emilia. If Emilia were to kill Sirius, it was inevitable that they would all die. Beatrice yells to Subaru to get his attention. Subaru, you can't be distracted right now, in fact. The crowd has surrounded the duo and focused their anger towards Subaru. Dirty insect. Crap. It's not just sharing feelings, but also doing things like brainwashing a crowd into acting on her own will. Identifying the situation is good, I suppose. If a solution doesn't exist, then all we can do is escape, in fact. Beatrice jumps onto Subaru's back while Subaru calls to Emilia. Emilia, stall them for us. I won't be too messy about it. Subaru then breaks into a sprint to flee from the crowd. The crowd begins chasing him. Their arms are outstretched just like zombies. Subaru starts muttering to himself. If we keep stalling like this, someone could come and help. Even if someone comes, without figuring out the conditions of victory, it would be meaningless, in fact. Even if Reinhardt comes, would he be able to solve this, I suppose? In short, our worries won't end even if he comes. Even if they wanted to summon Reinhardt, the only one who could was Larkins, and he was currently a part of the crowd chasing Subaru, so that was no longer an option. So we have to think of something. Dirty insects. They're so angry that they aren't even thinking at all. In such an atmosphere, they probably won't hesitate about killing whatever is near them, I suppose. That won't do. Subaru didn't want any casualties. He refused to let any innocent people die. There were so many things he wanted to protect, but there was a limit on how many he could protect. However, I'm the one who chooses that limit. That's Betty Subaru, in fact. Subaru drew his whip and aimed for the feet of the crowd, hoping to scare them off and not injure them too much. While Subaru was sweeping his whip throughout the crowd, he ran into Larkins. Attacking people he knew would make him sad. Although this aches my heart, I can't let myself be torn apart either. Sorry, Chin. I'm not Chin. Subaru lashed his whip at Larkins' feet and yanked him upward. Right, they can't think. In that case, as long as I. Just as he was about to say stall long enough, Subaru felt a chill rise on his back. Subaru felt the breath of death that he was all too familiar with thanks to Return by Death. While Subaru was lost in thought, a beastman attacked Subaru with a sword. You maggot. Bayako. Shamak. In a flash, Subaru had determined the difference in their power and called Beatrice's name. She immediately realized Subaru's intention and cast a Shamak which enveloped the beastman's face. Does that cut off the link with the others? There's nothing to that effect, I suppose. Even taking the fighting, the link itself did not cut off, in fact. Most likely, the compulsion will stop only taking effect after that freak dies, I suppose. What do we do? Betty is desperately thinking, in fact. And on Emilia's side? Subaru turned to Emilia, who was still engaged in a fierce battle with Sirius. Blazing, boiling, burning, my heart is trembling, this is wrath. Your dirty amethyst eyes, your dirty bell-like voice, your dirty silky silver hair, your dirty fair skin, your dirty cute face. Those all exist purely to seduce men. Emilia creates a new weapon out of ice, a two-handed spear. My eyes, my voice, my silver hair, all of those came from my favorite person, from the most beautiful person in the world. Treating them as though they're dirty infuriates me. Sirius grabs Emilia's spear and snaps it in half, forcing Emilia to create a new sword. Subaru looks at Emilia and notices that her face has gotten more relaxed. Subaru starts panicking as it seemed like Emilia had fallen prey to Sirius's power. This is bad. When Sirius first appeared, why weren't Emilia, Bayako, and I affected by her emotional link? Just as Emilia and Beatrice had resisted her power just as Reinhardt did, was there any individual trait or something similar to that which they shared? Subaru's initial assumption had been that Reinhardt would be able to resist it just because he was Reinhardt. It could be the Subaru. As Subaru's eyes widened, something collided with his right side. A blindfolded woman from the crowd had punched Subaru and sent him flying. Beatrice checks on him to see if he's okay. Subaru, don't die, I suppose. Even I wouldn't reach a game over from that, but that hit was super effective. Subaru's ribs were aching, but his other bones and organs seemed to be fine. This guy and that guy, why are these enemies so troublesome? Either Subaru looks unreliable just because the enemies are strong or because he himself is too weak, in fact. Subaru threw grit at the blindfolded woman and then rammed into her with his shoulder. My lack of fighting strength seems to have come in handy. If the attack had been serious, they probably would have died on the spot. Although I can't say that's something I would accept eagerly, that works since we have more trouble coming up, I suppose. Beatrice points to the waterway, where there's a new group of infected citizens heading their way. You're kidding me. Betty thinks that they heard the commotion and rushed over to see what's happening, in fact. They enter the scope of her power and were swallowed. Are you serious? Is her ability contagious on a wide scale? The more you try to flee, the more victims she finds. How can that even be stopped? However, something is off about this entire situation, I suppose. Subaru knocked over that woman and I cast Shamrock on the man. Along with Shin's injury, it didn't appear on anyone else, in fact. Are we going to have to defeat that whole crowd too? If Subaru has the fighting ability to do that, then we can go for it, I suppose. They're interrupted from a pain cry from Emilia. Subaru turns in her direction to see what is going on. Emilia had fallen onto the floor and Sirius was looking down at her with flames in each hand. Growing, love accumulates. That quantity is power. There's love for all. Everyone, human beings love each other, and with that union, they can share thoughts, they can share wishes, and be it joy or sadness, they can talk to each other and share their feelings. In that case, this is the inevitable result. The half-witch isn't included in the bond of love and should disappear like a crushed insect. Something's off. What you're saying is right, but it somehow feels wrong too. Why? Because you go against the truth. Because you dirty half-being cannot understand love as long as you live. You will not know love when you die. The existence of a half-witch is evil. Even your birth, even the meeting of your father and mother are wrong. After hearing Sirius's insults, Emilia's eyes changed. Kind and gentle as she was, Emilia couldn't face such harsh words, which demeaned not only her existence but even her parents' meeting. Emilia charges at Sirius. She prepares to slash her until Sirius puts up a tied girl in front of her. She had been tied up the same way Lustbel had been. Subaru knew who it was instantly. It was Tina, Lustbel's friend. Emilia hesitates and Sirius smiles as she had Emilia where she wanted her. A wave of heat blew Emilia's body away. She fell to the floor and was unable to get up while Sirius charged up her flames, ready to deliver the final blow. Sirius shoots her flames as they start to approach Emilia. If Subaru didn't act right now, he wouldn't be able to save her. Not saving Emilia was unacceptable. Subaru clearly understood all this, but yet he couldn't move. Subaru and Beatrice were unable to move after seeing Tina. Subaru yells at the top of his lungs, "Move already, feet!" But his body didn't move. Emilia. As the flames engulfed Emilia, Subaru's knees shook and he collapsed on the spot. Beatrice, who was still clinging onto Subaru's back, calls to him. Subaru. Subaru. I caught up. Subaru looks towards the direction of the voice. Standing there was a white-haired man holding an unharmed Emilia. Emilia? I came to meet her, so it's great that I was able to catch up. To meet? What's that supposed to mean? Isn't it a matter of course that I come to meet a woman that I intend to take as my bride? I am the witch called Sin Archbishop of Greed, Regulus Corneus. As promised, I'm here to take her as my 79th wife. And that sums up chapter 24 of Arc 5. That was an extremely action-packed chapter. Subaru can't seem to catch a break either. Not only does he have to deal with Sirius, now he has to deal with Regulus as well. I don't see this ending well for Subaru at all. It looks like he's gonna die here. Let me know if you guys have any theories, predictions, or thoughts about the chapter or going forward in the comment section down below. I'll be reading all of the comments, then responding to and discussing 3 to 5 comments in the next video. The first comment comes in from SH. They wrote, "Well, that ending was seriously wrathful. Sorry, I couldn't resist." It's ironic how despite being the frozen witch, Emilia has zero chill. She didn't even let Sirius speak and just went for the kill. Emilia definitely isn't a pushover and I'm so excited to see what she does against Sirius. It's cool to see Priscilla isn't all talk either and is actually pretty smart. Nice pun. I thought it was really funny how Emilia went for the kill right away. It reminds me of when Cosmo went against that one night dude in Konosuba. And yes, Subaru should be thanking Priscilla for sending Emilia, otherwise they would have been screwed. The next comment comes in from Vincius. They wrote, "How much I want to see an Emilia vs Sirius rematch, maybe with some mind-blowing revelations. It needs to happen. I'm sure it will because of a certain theory." The final comment comes in from Andre. They wrote, "Priscilla sure is shrewd. She saw through Subaru's bluff, realized that danger was close, and manipulated Emilia by emotionally blackmailing her to go deal with said danger. She really is, although she indirectly saved Beatrice and Subaru, so I can't say what she did was that bad. Unless she wanted to send Emilia to her death, which I wouldn't rule out." With that being said, I wanted to thank you guys for 500 subscribers. I can't say it enough, but I truly appreciate the support. It means so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.